Welcome to the Yoga Studies Institute and this Ashtanga Yoga practice video. My name's John Campbell, and I'm very glad you're here with me today. This is part of a series of videos being made by YSI. Each one features a different theme, and those themes are really the central goals of yoga practice. And you might say that the overall goal of yoga practice is freedom. The various practices of yoga are certain kinds of disciplines of consciously choosing alternative behaviors to the kind of way that you typically behave in the world. Many of the ways we behave in the world actually lead to some mental distress, physical distress, and just stress. The theme of this particular practice that I'll be leading you through is a specific kind of freedom, which is freedom from financial insecurity. And this is something that most of us have experienced at one time or another. And even when we have great abundance in our lives, it's sometimes hard to feel that we have enough, that we feel secure. And the beauty of the yoga practice in general is that it can cultivate a stillness of mind, a healthiness of body, and a steadiness of the nervous system. Based on that, it becomes naturally much easier to experience gratitude and, in general, a sense of being present. This yoga practice is not going to cure anybody's financial insecurity, but over time, it can give you a shelter, a refuge from that experience of fear of not having enough. And then the beauty that can come from that, even after a single practice, is this freedom to realize that you have the ability to give, that you have enough, that you can share, and that you can express love and gratitude in your everyday life. So, as I take you through the breaths and movements of the Ashtanga Yoga practice, I'll occasionally try to refer back to that central theme of today's practice. So please come and join me, and come to a mat if you have one. You don't have to have a yoga mat, although Yoga Journal would want to convince you that you do. We're going to start with a series of movements and breaths known as Sun Salutations, or Surya Namaskara in Sanskrit. And in order to properly execute these movements in the Ashtanga practice, our breath and our movements must be sort of a unit. They have to be combined. We never stop breathing in this practice. If there's one thing that you get out of doing this practice with me today, let it be this constant reminder to continue breathing. And in addition, I'm going to ask you to try to breathe only through your nose, which, if you're a beginner, will be very challenging, but it's a worthwhile challenge. And in a short time, you'll be able to do it. Okay, so the breath is going in through the nose, and again out through the nose. You're not going to let the breath stop, even when something is challenging, physically challenging. Don't hold the breath. Okay, what else? From this standing position, we want to be able to stand. We want to be able to breathe very deeply, especially into the lower back ribs and the parts of the lung that we don't usually use enough. And how do we do that? Stand tall. Let the chest rise. Draw your navel in. Finally, you can try this one corrective exercise. Just bring your elbows up, thumbs in your armpits. Draw your elbows to your side so you feel the shoulder blades hugging against your back. Now, without falling forward, maintain this position, drop your hands. And now you're ready. You're in the what we call the ready position or samastitihi. You've started to establish the breath, and we're going to go through 9 individual movement breath combinations in a sequence of the first sun salutation. So, along with me, inhale, raise your arms and look up. Then exhale, fold over and down, stretch down as far as you can, drop your head. Doesn't matter if you can reach the floor or not. If you cannot reach the floor, bend your knees a little bit. Okay, now with the inhale, lift your head and lengthen your back. The exhale now lowers you all the way, your chest to the floor. If that's too strenuous, drop your knees and exhale, lower your chest. The 5th position, inhaling, press to upward dog. Front of my legs are stretching, lifting chest high. Exhale into downward dog and breathe 5 times in this position. Try to stretch your heels down. Try to draw your navel in. 2 full deep breaths. 3. 4. Press your hands flat on the floor. So don't let your inner knuckles lift up. See if you can push them into the floor. And exhaling 5. You complete the 5th exhale. Now, we need to get back to the front of the mat. We're going to do that by inhaling to this position. So exhale, stretch down again. Finally, inhale, stand, raise your arms and look at your thumbs. Exhale, draw your navel in. And you're back at samastitihi, the starting standing position. We'll do this 3 more times. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, you can step, and if you're ambitious, you can try even hopping back. The exhale takes you down. Inhale, upward dog. I'm on the top of my feet, stretching the front of my legs. Exhale to downward dog, and 5 breaths. Tuck my chin down. Deep breathing with sound. Make sound with your breath through the nose. That sound is coming from the top of your windpipe, so it's actually coming from your throat. 3. 4. Exhale, 5. Prepare to go to the front of your mat so you can step like you did last time, or you can try hopping. That takes you into an inhale here, exhale down. Stand and inhale, arms up. Back to the starting position, samastitihi. Good. We have 2 more times like that. Inhale, arms up. Exhaling, fold down. Inhaling, head up. And then step or hop back. Exhale, lower your chest down. If you have the strength, hold yourself off the floor. Press your arms straight, upward dog. Inhale. Press back, downward dog. Exhale. And breathe. 1, 2, 3. Keep challenging yourself to breathe through your nose. 4. 5. To finish my 5th exhale, it's time to go to the front, which you can step or hop. And inhale, lift your head. Exhale, again, stretch down. Stand, inhale, arms up. And exhaling. One last time of this first sun salutation. So when you fold over on the exhale, imagine there's something actually maybe blocking you at your middle. As much as possible, you want to fold over. And typically, with tight hamstrings, that's what prevents you. And you're going to start rounding your back. But as long as you can, keep this part of your leg, the quadriceps, strong, engaged, and see if you can imagine that you're folding over at a crease at your waist. And then once the tightness in your legs maybe prevents you, okay, then bend your knees or fold your back. A friend of mine, so I'm borrowing this from him, but he had a funny image, which is that you're on a boat and you're starting to get seasick. So you go to the rail, the edge of the boat, which is about at your waist, and you don't want to throw up on your own shoes. So you reach yourself forward so you can vomit over the side of the boat, right? You want to keep it away from your own shoes. All right, so let's do one more of these sun salutations. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold at your waist and reach down and down and down. Bend your knees if necessary to touch the floor. Lift your head, inhale. Step or hop your feet and lower to this push-up position, elbows in. Press your arms straight, inhale. Press back, downward dog now, exhale. 5 breaths, breathing through your nose with sound. 1. 2. Keep your feet about 6 inches apart and parallel. 3. Stretching your heels down. 4. And 5. Now either step or hop to the front, and your inhale brings your head up. Then exhale, stretch down. Finally stand. Inhale, reach up. Samastitihi, or starting position. Good. So now we're going to build on that to the second sun salutation in 17 separate units of movement and breath together. They're all separate asanas, really, but we link them in this particular set of exercise. Okay, our first position with bent knees, like you're sitting in a chair, squeezing your knees together. Raise your arms up and look up at your thumbs. Okay, so inhaling, bent knees, arms up, looking up, and then directly from here, fold over, exhale, reach to the floor. Lift your head up, inhale, and just like before, step or hop back, lower, exhale. Keep yourself off the floor if you can. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. Okay, we're not going to just stay here now. Instead, step your right foot forward so it comes right up between your hands. Turn your back foot at an angle and keep it straight, front knee bent. So as you stand in this position, try to square your hips forward, keeping your knee directly above your foot. So your chest should rotate toward your thigh. Right. So you're up high. And from this position, raise your arms, inhale, and look up. Keep your back foot flat on the floor. Place your hands down, step back, and exhaling, lower. Upward dog, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Same thing with the left foot. Step, stand, back leg, keep your back leg straight. Angle your back foot forward a little bit. That'll allow you more easily to rotate your hips forward, using a lot of strength to straighten your back leg. Front knee is above your left foot. Inhale, arms up, looking up at your thumbs. Place your hands, step back, exhale, go down. Stretch up into upward dog. Inhale, back to downward dog as you exhale. Now 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Going to go to the front just like you did last time, either hopping or stepping. Head up, inhale. Exhale, stretch down. And finishing with that same position, bent knees, arms up, squeezing your knees together, and exhale, stand straight. So that's the 17, what we call vinyasas of the second sun salutation. We're going to do 3 more times. And just for fun, I'm going to count each movement breath unit with the Sanskrit numbers as it was traditionally taught to me. And see, of course, you can look at the video and get cued and just see as you follow your breath if you can start to remember part of the sequence, if it'll sort of intuitively make sense. Now we've gone through it a few times, okay? So from the starting position, ekam, inhale. Dve, straight legs, head down, exhale. Trini, inhale, head up. Chatwari, exhale, lower. Pancha, inhale. Shat, exhale. Sapta, step your right foot forward. Bring your chest upright, face front, back leg straight. Inhale, arms up. Ashto, exhale, lower down. Nava, inhale. Dasha, exhale. Ekadasha, left foot steps. You stand and inhale. Trayodasha, place your hands. Exhale, go down. Chaturdasha, inhale into upward dog. And exhale, back for 5 breaths here. 1, 2. So feel your hips stretching back to the back of the room. Stretching your heels down, keep your feet parallel. 3, 4, and 5. Panchadasha, you're going to jump or step forward. That's inhale. Shodasha, stretch down. Saptadasha, or the 17th vinyasa, inhale, arms up, and stand straight and tall. 2 more times. Ekam, inhale, bend your knees, arms up. Dve, straighten as you go forward and down, drop your head. Trini, head up, inhale. Chatwari, lower as you exhale. Pancha, inhale. Shat, downward dog, exhale. Sapta, right foot first. Step, stand up. Raise your arms, inhale. Ashto. Place your hands, step back, exhale, go down. Nawa, inhale, upward dog. Dasha, exhale, downward dog. Ekadasha, left foot, step forward. Raise your arms on the inhale. Dwadasha, back to push-up position, exhale. Trayodasha, inhale, upward dog. Chaturdasha, exhale, downward dog. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Panchadasha. Front inhale, head up. Shodasha, exhale, stretch down. Saptadasha, squeeze your knees together. Inhale, arms up. Stand straight and tall. Last time. Ekam, inhale. Dve, exhale, straight legs, head down. Trini, inhale. Chatwari, exhale. Pancha, upward dog. Inhale. Shat, downward dog, exhale. Sapta. Inhale, arms up, look up. Ashto. Exhale, lower your chest. Nawa, inhale. Dasha, press back, exhale. Ekadasha. Left foot steps. Inhale, look up. Dwadasha. Exhaling, lower. Trayodasha, upward dog. Chaturdasha. Exhale back. 1, 2, 3. As this becomes more strenuous to you, it may be harder and harder to breathe through your nose. But just make that intention, bring your mind and attention back to your breathing. And keep trying to breathe through your nose. Now, Panchadasha to the front. Inhale, head up. Shodasha, stretch down. Last one, Saptadasha, reaching up. Inhale. Samastitihi, starting position. Okay, excellent. In between the poses, now that we are about to start doing a series of standing asanas, remember that there's no break in the breathing. So during this particular approach to yoga, the Ashtanga yoga, what we call a sadhana, or a means to a goal, in this case, the goal of freeing yourself from the clutches of the fear of financial insecurity. You must maintain, or at least try to maintain, your breathing throughout the practice, from the first moment to when we conclude. So now I'm talking away, so it's not very good. But you can try anyway to maintain your breathing. And at first, this is really taxing and very, very difficult, even for very fit people to find. You need to learn the sequence. So it's challenging to your mind itself as it's trying to figure out these sequences. This is exactly how yoga is invasive. Its practices are sort of interventions which basically, derail your regular habitual modes of thinking, including fear. We have something called now that scientists call neuroplasticity. Our brains are incredibly adaptable and to rewire. And this is what we're trying to do. Rewire away from that fear of lack to a joyful feeling of generosity and gratitude. Okay, so now let's move on into, as you continue your breathing, sequence of standing poses. Separate your feet. This is pose called Padangusthasana. It just means grab your toes. So your feet are parallel, the outside edges of your feet. They're separated about hip width apart. Grab onto your big toes. If you have to bend your knees, that's fine, but grab your big toes. Now, with the first breath, lift away from your toes. Inhale. So you're creating full tension in your hamstrings and lengthening your back. Then exhale, draw down into the pose. And you're going to stay here and breathe 5 times. Exact same kind of breathing that you've been exploring through the Sun Salutations. 1. Particularly on the exhale here, feel that crease, that fold between your thighs and your belly. So with your exhale, you're drawing your belly in. Draw your navel back. 2. 3. 4. And 5. So keep hold of your toes, and you're going to come back out to that fully extended position with your inhale. Exhale right there. And now a little bit deeper. Try to stand on your palms. And again, lift your head. Inhale. Exhale, head down. 5 breaths. So if you're starting to get your legs straight, you can try bringing more weight into the balls or the front of your feet and extend your legs and feel them strong and folding at your belly, drawing your navel in. 2. 3. 4. And 5. So hands are still trapped under your feet. Lift your head. Inhale. Exhale right there. Release your hands. Slowly flat back. Come up to standing and feet back together. So back to the starting position, Samastiti. Good. Next pose is triangle or Utthita Trikonasana. And this triangle pose, you'll find it in almost every yoga class. It's taught differently in different places. In this tradition, you typically want to spread your feet about 1 meter. But if you're a shorter person, that distance could be less, could even be longer. So my front foot is completely straight and my back foot slightly turned inward. And with the inhale, I take my arms out. And exhale, start to reach down and down and down. And at least try to get to your shin or the top of your foot. And if you can, grab onto your big toe. And the final piece is you're going to lift your left hand up and looking with your gaze to the tips of your fingers. 1, 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4. Exhale completely. 5. Come up on the inhale. Switch sides. So just pivot 180 degrees facing the other direction. Again, inhale, arms out. Exhale, start to reach down. You're trying for straight legs. Ultimately grabbing your big toe and Right hand up, look to your fingertips. So even if you have to bend your front leg, your left leg in this side, see if you can completely straighten your back leg. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, rise up. Come back to the right side. So now we're going to do a revolving standing triangle pose. And this is significantly more challenging at first. If you have a block or even just a big book, that can be very helpful. I'm going to bring the left hand around as I exhale and reach to the floor. Your goal is actually to get to the outside of your right foot, flat on the floor, and then looking up to your right hand. If you need to, you can even use, initially you could try some kind of object where you could put it to the inside of your foot. Have something to balance on as you start to get used to twisting and standing at the same point, eventually reaching your hand to the floor, and then eventually reaching it to the outside of your foot. So set yourself up however that works for you, and breathe 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, rise up. Switch to the other side. Now your right hand is coming around either to your block or your object or whatever it is to support you. You're effectively bringing the floor up to you. If you can reach the floor, then flatten on the floor, back leg straight, and start to reach up with your left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, stand, and return to the front, Samastitihi. Still breathing through the nose. Don't interrupt your breath. Again, turn to the side, spread your feet out. This time, wider stance, as wide as your own arms can spread. And again, turn to the right side. This is Uttita Parshvakonasana, or standing angle bend. Arms out, inhale. Bend your front knee until your knee is directly above your foot. And if possible, reach your right hand all the way to the floor. And last, extend your left hand and arm over your ear and look up at your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Inhale, come up. Turn. We'll do the other side. So a good modification for this, if you're not able to reach to the floor, still bring your knee right above your foot and then rest your forearm of your left hand, your left arm, on your thigh and extend your arm. Now breathe. Looking at your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come up, inhale. Once again, you're ready to return to Samastitihi. So Samastitihi is our neutral place. It's a place to gather ourselves, check in on your breathing. If you haven't been able to maintain breathing through your nose, do so here. Every time you return with this conscious choice to breathe in this particular way, it reinforces at multiple levels. Again, like I was saying, the body, mind, and the nervous system, which is what we're trying for in this meditation, to bring ourselves away from our habitual thought patterns. And at the very least, it's a vacation from those thought patterns, which will give you some rest, and your nervous system can balance, and you'll feel more supported. At best, you can have a different kind of perspective and experience of your own mind, of your own stabilizing nervous system through the breath, so that when you come out of the practice, what looked like an impossible set of obstacles and problems can look very different. And you look at yourself very differently, and others around you very differently. So that fear of economic insecurity can become transformed into a joy in generosity. Next pose. Spread your feet out wide, just like before. And this time, keep your hands on your waist, and you want your feet to be parallel. So take an inhale here. Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale. And exhale, reach all the way down. See if you can place your hands flat on the floor. They should be about shoulder width apart. And bring them in between your feet. The next breath is inhale. Take your head up and lengthen. And then exhale, lower the crown of your head. So if you have a lot of flexibility, you'll be able to bring the crown of your head right to the floor. Otherwise, just simply stretching down and breathe 5 times. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So lifting your head, inhale, exhale there. You come up on the inhale, take hold of your waist and exhale. So this is a sequence of 4 variations. This is the second one. Inhale, feet still in the same position. Exhale, gripping your waist, stretch your head down. Crown of your head goes down as far as you can, ultimately touching the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come all the way up as you inhale. Exhale. Check your feet, make sure they're still parallel. Third time. Inhale, stretch your arms to the side. Exhale, catch your hands together. So you're clasping them behind you. And inhale here. Exhale, head down, draw your arms over your head. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale. Rise up as you inhale. Exhale. Take hold of your waist for the last one. Inhale. Grip your big toes. So you're holding your big toes on both sides. Lift your head and lengthen and stretch your legs straight. Inhale. Crown of your head down. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So keep hold of your big toes, but lift your head and inhale. Exhale there. Come up. Take your waist and return to the starting position, Samastitihi. So this is the last of the standing positions. Turn to your right. In this case, the left. Feet, once again, about 1 meter spread apart. And bring your hands up. You want to get them into a prayer position behind you, but if that's too difficult, you can just grab your forearms. And turn, you pivot to face the back foot. So it's almost the same stance as triangle pose, but in this case, you're going to turn so your chest is facing the same direction as your front leg. And with an exhale, you go down. And you're trying to touch your head to your leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, inhale, come up and pivot, face the opposite direction. Your back foot is turned slightly forward, maybe 45 degrees forward. Take an inhale with your chest up, then exhaling, stretch down over your front leg. 1, 2. Deep breathing with sound. 3, 4, and 5. So come up as you inhale and step forward as you exhale, standing straight. Now we're going to do one more sun salutation and bring you to the floor, to seated position. So inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, go down. Inhaling, lift your head. Just like before, either hop or step back, exhale, lower. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. And now you're going to come to sitting. So in this practice, eventually, you're going to learn how to connect all the different poses with a shortened form of the sun salutation. So you remember in sun salutation, from downward dog, we hop forward. In this case, because we're on the floor, you're going to hop forward and sit down. Right. So that takes a lot of time, or some time, let's say, to get used to. And now sit straight and tall. And you're going to breathe 5 times in this tall position, Dandasana. So tight, strong legs. Squeeze the back of your legs to the floor. 2, 3. Try to straighten your arms. 4. And 5. Reach forward. So this next pose is going to be grabbing either your toes or the sides of your feet and stretching down and forward, Paschimottanasana. If you don't have the flexibility to actually, with straight legs, grab your toes, let's do it like this. So with bent knees, bring your thighs, your whole belly and chest onto your thighs to the point where you can get a hold of your toes. Then slowly, with the breathing, not holding your breath, you're going to start extending your legs out and out and out. You obviously stop, don't force. And eventually to straight legs until you can stretch your head down. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can lift your head here, inhale, exhale. Same thing now, holding the sides of your feet. If you need to, first bend your knees, bring your thighs and belly into contact, and then straighten your legs as much as you can. And exhale, bring your head to your legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lift your head up, inhale, exhale, and release your feet. Good. Okay, next pose. Again, we'll do a forward bending position. This is called Janus Asana, or head to knee pose. So bringing your leg back so it's open. This angle here is about 110 degrees, I think. It's a little more open than 90 degrees, let's say. And your foot is right inside against your thigh. Turn back to your front foot, grab onto it, start with your head up, inhaling, and exhale, stretch your head down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lift your head up, inhale, and exhale. Release your foot and switch sides. Take hold of your front foot, head up, inhale, and exhale, head down, and breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So lift your head up, inhale, exhale there. Okay. So we're coming to the conclusion. Come down on your back. And you're going to bend your knees, draw your heels in close so you can touch them with your hands. And your feet are as wide as your mat. With the inhale, push your hips up, leaving your head and shoulders on the floor. Just your hips. Push them as high as you can. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. Using your thighs to lift. And now clasp your hands, if you can, beneath you. That's if you can't, then just leave it. We'll do 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, come down. 2 more times, just like that. Again, inhale, press up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale down. Last time. Inhale, press up. 1, 2. Let your chest come right into your chin. 3, 4, and exhale. As you come down, sit up. And so the last element of the practice of the Ashtanga Yoga Asana sequence always begins with sun salutations to establish the breathing, to establish the correct relationship between the breath and the movement and the body. And it always concludes with this seated meditation pose. The goal is to achieve the ability to sit in what we call Lotus Pose, where one foot is on the opposite thigh, the other foot is on the other opposite thigh. This is a process. Some people just can already naturally do it. If it is not feeling natural to you at all, do not force this. It can be very difficult on your knees. So, what are the instructions? This is brand new to you, if you find that even just sitting, you may just find that even sitting on the floor with a straight back is very challenging because, again, the hips are so tight and you're falling back. If that's the case, you can even lift your hips up with a pillow or, sit on something, elevate yourself, because we, above all, want to have a straight spine. If your hips are a little bit more open, you can start to move toward the Lotus Pose by taking your right foot and bringing it up on the left thigh. So a half Lotus Pose, let's say. And the other foot folded beneath. So however your legs are crossed, the first of 3 separate movements we're due here. The first one is folding forward. So your legs are crossed, you're in your position, you're not stressing your knees. There you might feel some strong sensation, but do not force, and above all, don't hold your breath. First thing, fold forward, exhale. We're going to stay with our arms back in this position for 10 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sit up. Place your hands flat on the floor behind you, fingers facing forward. Now, press your chest forward, straighten your arms so you're arching especially the top of your back. Drop your head back to look straight up. Breathe 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Sitting up straight and tall. This is what we call Kevala Padmasana, or simply Padmasana, exclusively Padmasana. Padma is lotus, asana is seat or posture. So, touching your thumb and forefinger together, let your wrists resting on your knees. Straight spine, chin down, and breathing deeply with sound. Let your chest fill. Direct the breath also to the lower ribs and exhale. And with each exhale, try to reinforce the drawing back at your navel. And then maintain that. 2, 3. Check your spine. If it starts to slouch, then just simply straighten it up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the very last thing, we're going to lift up off the floor, called Utplutihi. Now, this actually makes a lot more sense if you are fully in lotus, for the simple reason that your legs are trapped and you can lift. This is much harder, but also very, very good and challenging and strengthening to your abdominal, your core muscles, if your legs are just crossed, trying to get yourself up and draw your feet up off the floor. It's very difficult. So, blessed are the stiff, sometimes we say, because you get more out of the yoga practice. So, however your legs are crossed, we're going to be lifting, try to get your knees and feet up off the floor. And we'll do 10 breaths here. So, inhale, drawing up. 1, 2, don't strain, see if you can breathe through it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Come down, exhale. Good. Stretch out your legs, and yay, now you get to rest. So I'm going to send you to a nice rest. Make sure you take at least 5 minutes, and ideally longer, maybe 10, to just lie down, allow your hands to fall open, and make yourself warm if it's a chilly room. After the intense sets of energies that have started to be generated and moved in the body. And I hope you had a beautiful vacation from your financial insecurity, and that you found some joy in this. And in the next video, we will take the Ashtanga yoga practice to which is a little more advanced, and start to build what we did in today's class. So I look forward to hopefully you being here with me again. Thank you very much. Take rest.